any age, many of us try different methods of turning back the hands of time with cosmetic treatments or injectables, especially on our faces. Eastern medicine treats cosmetics a little differently and definitely more naturally. Dr. Christina Captain is the founder of the Sarasota Center for Acupuncture and Nutrition and is here to tell us more. And the first thing I said is we spend a lot of time on our show talking about ways to turn back time and maybe look a little bit, younger or better, but we don't talk about it in terms of Eastern medicine. So this is really interesting to me because I'm gonna assume it involves a lot less chemicals and a lot less of the things that traditionally we hear about. So how does Eastern medicine approach cosmetology?
So first of all, I want to say that if you want to have a significant change, then you need to cut. You need to find plastic surgery, and you need to have a surgery. Like skin. Cut like skin. Oh. So that is the ultimate change, right? So this is not for people who are ready for that change. This is for people who want a beautiful aging process, a subtle process, and one that doesn't involve injecting any toxins or thick materials into your skin. Okay. Right? So these are people who come in and say, I just had this small little crow's feet, or I just want to look an overall refreshed. I just want to have this done. And never, ever, ever is what I see what the person who's coming in wants. Right. You could look at somebody and they need an overall refresher. They need a big sessions, right? They need a lot of work. And they'll look at me and they'll say, well, I just have this one line right here that just wants to be done. Right. Because
it's what bothers us.
Exactly. Yes, and that's what's most important. It's about listening to the person coming in and saying, hey, what do you want to do? So acupuncture on its own, full body acupuncture, Mei Zen, beautiful person, developed by Dr. Martha Lucas out of Colorado. Okay. Works with full body acupuncture, tapping into that essential energy to bring it up to the face to look more beautiful and more enhanced, but also needles in the face. So little needles, little micro traumas causing the development of elastin and collagen. The actual treatment is beautiful. You only need 10 to 12 sessions. They're twice a week for 10 to 12 weeks. Okay. And what happens is pore sizes diminish, so you get this smooth over, tightening happens, so you get the jowl lift. A lot of times puffiness around the eyes will go away, fine lines will dissipate. Okay. And you also are working on stress, sleep, the whole 9 yards, right? So all of it is just happening to make your face look beautiful. It's for people, I have people coming in at 30 years old, 25 years old going, all of my friends are getting Botox and fillers, and I just don't want to do that. And in fact, one of my friends had a problem with fillers, and now she's trying to get off all of them, and her face is not really looking fantastic, so I don't even want to get started with that. It could be for people who can't tolerate injections and fillers, so they want to have a more natural process, and it can happen at any age. I have patients from 80 years old to 25 years old coming in, men and women that come in for this work.
So the concept is that your body is naturally, I don't know if repair is the right word, or at least maybe reinvigorating itself from within. That's what the acupuncture does.
Those little micro traumas, they cause collagen and elastin develop, which is what we lose.
We know.
Huge, right? But again, people who shouldn't have it, pregnant women, right? Absolutely not. People who might be immunocompromised, people who wouldn't have acupuncture or needle punctures in general, and someone who wants a huge change. Right. This is something that's going to happen. People are going to say, why do you look so good, Stephanie? Like, did you get a haircut? Have you lost weight? I mean, what's gone on here that you look so well?
But yet you can see it because Dr. Captain brought us some before and afters, and it's the first thing we looked at. We're like, all right, let's see what it looks like. But I agree with what you're saying, that it's subtle, but it's there. It's a glow. It's a tightness. And how many treatments did you say this would take?
This is 10. What you're looking at there is 10. All right. And at that age, I think that's about a 45-year-old.
And again, the lines are softer. Everything just looks a little bit more
brighter,
more youthful.
And you feel better because of all the acupuncture. One thing you have to remember, though, you can't come in and like, I'm getting married in 3 weeks and I want to have these, because you can bruise. And so, and especially in Sarasota where we have all the galas, we want to make sure that you're not going to a gala, because if you get a bruise or a hematoma on your face, it's going to take 2 weeks to resolve. Okay. And it can happen. We try to definitely not make that happen, but it can happen.
And that happens to different people for different reasons.
Oh, you see it in Botox and fillers, you see all kinds of bruises.
Exactly. Right? So if you are doing it, for a special occasion, how far in advance do you recommend?
Yeah, I would say 3 to 4 months in advance. Sometimes you can do it in 2. It just depends on how many weeks you need and how much change you want. So we just definitely would, not 2 weeks before an event, absolutely, we dead stop. Okay. And we also don't want you to drink a bunch of alcohol or take fish oils or be on blood thinners when you come in, because that's thinner blood's going to cause more bruising.
Okay, well, it's nice to know that there are options outside of the chemicals and the injections that we hear so much about. And it's nice to know that Eastern medicine is helping with cosmetics as well. To learn more from Dr. Captain, you can find her at scansrq.com.